to clear the crowd. As we were walking back with that commander trying to talk to him, Black Lives Matter organizer and actor Kendrick Sampson jumped in to break up the interview.
On Saturday, they brutalized us. Kendrick. They brutalized us. This is not, we are not marching with the police. That is not what we organized.
So what do you think just happened, Kendrick?
We had to go on air briefly, but then circled back to Sampson to hear what he had to say.
Tell me why, when you see, that commander from the police walking with some protesters and then taking a knee, you're saying that's not what you're about.
That is absolutely not what I'm about, because we don't want anybody to take a knee. A knee does not help me heal from the wounds that they shot me 7 times on Saturday. It does not help my boy who has 2 broken bones in his skull right now because they aimed a cannon at his head with rubber bullets and shot him directly. It does not help this wound on my chest. It does not help the swelling on my arm. It does not help all the batons that hit me and my assistant and split his shin open to the point that he needed stitches when we went to the ER. It does not help that. It does not help the 601 people that have been murdered at the hands of police in LA County since the 8 years ago, since Jackie Lacey got in office. It does not help Jackie Lacey hold cops accountable. It does not give our communities the resources that they actually need for mental health care, for relief for COVID, from the things that would actually keep us safe, not cops. We're calling for defunding the police. That is antithetical to that movement. They are not doing anything. They're standing behind Chief Moore, who literally just said yesterday that looters have on their hands the blood of George Floyd. Eric Garcetti stood behind him. He did not denounce it. And I am saying that that is a farce.
And so
that is a lie. That is some PR to make them look good. And I don't want that associated with us. I think it's absolutely disgusting. And I think every single one of them that marched are culpable in those murders.
So what?
If they were good cops, I want to say this. If they are good cops, they will call out all of the corruption in their police department.
And every time you see it, I mean, there have been a lot of those instances. It's been publicized a lot. Officers taking a knee or taking off the bulletproof vests and marching. Do you get upset every time you see that? Do you say that's not the point?
It's a lie. It is a lie. It's a lie. It's like Donald Trump evoking George Floyd's name and then in the same tweet quoting a racist white supremacist police chief from 67 that was an enemy to the civil rights movement, who was a absolute white supremacist, quoting him saying, when the looting starts, the shooting starts, calling for mass violence and murder of black protesters, okay? And saying that he's gonna send the military in. That is the same, because just yesterday, basically. Well, they arrested I don't know how many hundreds of people yesterday. And on Saturday, this same police department.
They've arrested 2,700 people since Friday night.
2,700 people. The same people that are arresting protesters that you saw this, they allowed this to go on very, very nicely, right? They allowed us to be out here as long as we wanted to pass curfew in front of the mayor's house, right? Because they didn't want all that brutality in front of the mayor's house.
But you think it had been anywhere else, it would have been different?
Anywhere else, it would have been different.
What about if you had marched to Beverly Hills today?
Anywhere else, it would have been different, because we tried to march to Beverly Hills on Saturday, and that's where I got hit 7 times, where I was targeted, where other leaders were targeted, or people that they thought were leaders were targeted, people that they didn't even know have broken bones, and all kinds of brutality and trauma that they are not ever going to be able to hear from. And I know you don't want me to cuss, but that is a lie. That is a PR opportunity, and LA knows if LA knows nothing else, they know good PR.
Does it give you any hope of seeing that, though?
Listen,
I know you say it's
no, it does not give me hope. What would give me hope is if they decide to give us the money, the inflated budget of the police department, and actually put it in systems that were meant to care and stop continuing the legacy of slave catching. Okay, that's what gives me hope. What gives me hope is thousands of people that were out here before that little event happened, that little PR moment happened, after we ended, the thousands of people that were calling for defunding the police and care for our communities, care over cops. That's what gives me hope. What gives me hope is Assata Shakur and Ida B. Wells and all of the liberators that came before us. That's what gives me hope. Marsha P. Johnson and all of those that show that when we fight, we win. Okay? That's what gives me hope. That does not give me hope. It's the same lie in Houston that the police chief is over there talking about. He understands George Floyd because of his murder, because he was calling out for his mama. What have you done, police chief? What have you done to call out the corruption in your own department? 6 people were killed between the middle of April and the middle of May in Houston. What about those folks? What is the corruption that is happening in your own department? You can't just call out the murder of George Floyd because you want to separate yourself from that. There has been a concerted effort nationwide for police departments across the country to separate themselves from George Floyd because they know how powerful this movement is. They cannot separate themselves. It is the same system. We need a new one that actually cares for our communities. Defund the police.
Do you think that marching alone can create change?
No, this work happens every day. Marching is the PR, okay? Marching is when we show our numbers in the streets. But this movement happens every single day. Organizing folks, making sure that we do interviews like this, making sure that we're texting people, calling people, telling them to vote Jackie Lacey out, telling them that we need to pay attention to the budget, calling on, making sure that we're voting in the proper people with the proper ideology for city council and for the police commission boards and all of that. We are doing the work every single day. These are just the moments you see. This is the culmination of decades of work and centuries of work of our liberators, of abolitionists, of hardcore, amazing black folks that faced unreal oppression and violence and called for the defunding of so many programs. And this time we're talking about the police.
How much people are tired. They've been marching with you. I mean, I haven't done the full count, but it's been like dozens of miles over the past 4 days, right?
And they're going to do it again tomorrow.
You don't think people are going to get tired?
We're already tired. The problem is that we're tired of dying. So we will find the energy to do whatever we have to do to end this. We are tired of dying. I will be damned if my nephews and my nieces and my future children are killed by police. I am ending this. I am standing with liberators all over the country, and we together, not me by myself, not me at all, us together collectively are going to end this. When we fight, we win, and we are going to continue fighting.
And sure enough, Sampson was again on the front lines today, with many hundreds of others protesting outside LA's Hall of Justice.
If we can't imagine better than this system with such a low bar, we have no business getting paid to be creative.